Think about the start of a typical sales day. You have your CRM open on one monitor, an email client on another, and a standalone AI chat window floating somewhere in the background. You're bouncing across 5 different tabs to piece together context. That constant context switching is exhausting, and it carries a heavy financial penalty. Organizations are paying $20 to $30 a month per user to give their teams access to premium AI chat tools. When you look at the usage data, the majority of those users are relying on these powerful reasoning engines to do basic chores, like summarizing a morning email thread or cleaning up the formatting of a prospect list. Xuda tackles this by replacing the scattered web of single-purpose apps with an agentic workspace, a single, centralized command center for your entire day. Paying for isolated point solutions forces your team to act as the manual glue between apps, draining hours of productivity while artificially inflating RevOps expenses. The decision for sales leaders comes down to this. Do you continue licensing the familiar chat tools your reps already know, or do you migrate the team to Xuda's centralized platform? Xuda is built to eliminate the high overhead of per-seat subscriptions by unifying the entire sales workflow into a single operational model. Capturing these efficiency gains requires the sales team to leave their familiar apps behind and shift their daily habits into the Xuda ecosystem. To figure out if the transition is worth the friction, we evaluate how Xuda handles multi-model cost routing, private data integration, unified team communication, and enterprise security. This matrix shows the difference. The left relies on separate licenses for chat, email, and databases. The right condenses these into 5 distinct tabs. Look at pricing. Instead of flat per-seat fees regardless of use, Xuda operates on pooled credits across the entire workspace. Adopting Xuda requires an infrastructure overhaul, replacing your existing communication tools and workflows with a single integrated system. The primary mechanism driving Xuda's cost savings is the platform's multimodal routing. Standard AI subscriptions charge you the maximum rate for every employee. A data scientist running complex reasoning tasks costs the exact same amount as an intern who occasionally asks the AI to proofread a memo. When a user asks a basic question, Xuda routes the prompt into a fast lane of micromodels costing pennies. But for a multi-step forecast, it escalates the request to a heavy reasoning block of premium frontier models. By reserving the heavy lifting models exclusively for hard problems, organizations see their average AI cost per prompt drop by up to 80%. Those savings pool at the workspace level, and admins can use account profiles to distribute monthly credit allowances across different departments or client engagements. The catch is administrative oversight. To ensure one over-enthusiastic power user doesn't drain the workspace budget, RevOps managers have to actively monitor usage and set hard credit caps for each profile. Actively routing requests to the right-sized engine and paying strictly for what is consumed provides a mathematical path out of per-seat enterprise waste. Beyond cost savings, the practical execution inside Xuda is handled by its no-code AI agents. Off-the-shelf chatbots are extremely articulate, but they are completely blind to your company's proprietary pipeline data. They cannot see your actual orders or deal stages.
Xuda uses a triage agent to bridge that gap. It reads a rep's plain language request and instantly assigns the task to a specialized internal agent built for that exact job. A request enters the triage node, activating the sales forecast agent. It securely connects to internal tables, filters, and calculates data without SQL. The rep simply receives a clean, actionable number in chat, ready for a presentation. Setting up these workflows requires zero coding, but that does not mean it requires zero effort. If your foundational CRM data is messy, unstandardized, or missing critical fields, the agent will simply pull that flawed data and deliver a confident, highly inaccurate forecast. The automation you get from an agentic workspace is only as reliable as the data hygiene you enforce across your sales floor. Getting clean outputs also relies on how reps manage their daily communications, which Xuda consolidates into a unified contact view. Instead of hunting through separate folders, a rep sees every email thread, AI summary, and app notification attached to a specific prospect in one continuous scroll. To secure that zero-context switching workflow, reps have to completely walk away from their familiar native email clients like Outlook or Gmail, funneling all their correspondence through Xuda instead. Housing your communications, proprietary databases, and AI models inside a single platform instantly elevates the security requirements. Xuda builds its architecture around the principle of least privilege. Every agent is restricted by explicit data scopes, and tripwire guardrails inspect both the inputs and outputs to prevent data exfiltration. For organizations handling highly sensitive information, Xuda offers a fully on-premise deployment option, guaranteeing your data never physically leaves your network perimeter. Implementing these strict least privilege rules takes upfront work. If your admins do not meticulously map out access rights for every single user and profile, the AI agents will constantly hit access denied errors and fail to run. Consolidating your tools into one command center demands a far more rigorous, centralized approach to security than simply handing out logins to isolated web apps. We have to step back and look at the actual return on investment. Does the productivity you gain offset the massive disruption of adopting an entirely new ecosystem? As a comprehensive operational hub, Xuda replaces traditional workflows with a single environment for daily tasks. The value proposition rests on solving the financial drain of flat-rate AI pricing, while drastically lowering the technical barrier to building automated queries against your private pipeline. A time-poor account executive is only going to experience those time savings after they push through the initial friction of learning the interface and trusting the agents. The true return on an agentic workspace is dictated by your team's willingness to abandon the legacy software habits they have relied on for years. This decision tree maps who benefits. RevOps leaders can consolidate tech stacks and eliminate wasted licenses. Sales teams gain automated triage and instant reporting. Enterprises deploy entirely on-premise. But for individuals wanting a simple chatbot or teams refusing new interfaces, it's overkill. Xuda successfully solves the problem of the fragmented sales tech stack, but only if your organization is fully prepared to commit to an integrated, agent-driven infrastructure.